In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 MLB games happening on July 24, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Chicago Cubs versus Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies will look to gain some momentum as they host the Chicago Cubs in the final game of a 3-game series Sunday afternoon. The Phillies are third in the National League East and are holding on to the final wildcard spot by the skin of their teeth. The Cubs are simply trying to avoid having the worst record in the National League. Bailey Falter gets the start for the Phillies Sunday, while veteran Drew Smyly takes the mound for the Cubs. Chicago is 11-21 in their last 32 games against the National League East and 2-6 in their last 8 Sunday games. The under is 10-4-3 in Chicago's last 17 games. Philadelphia is 7-1 in their last 8 game threes of a series and 6-14 in their last 20 Sunday games. The under is 4-0 in Philadelphia's last 4 game threes of a series. The over is 20-9-1 in these two teams' last 30 head-to-head meetings. For a team looking to make the postseason, being swept by one of the league's least productive teams would certainly not be ideal for Philadelphia. Simply from a morality standpoint, this is a pivotal game for them. Did you know that over the past 30 days, the Phillies have a bottom 10 offense in weighted runs created plus? Some of this is due to poor batted ball luck, though on a team level, that is less of an excuse. Regardless, with Bryce Harper still injured and Nick Castellanos struggling, this isn't exactly the murderer's row lineup the team had planned on having. Cubs starter Drew Smyly has made notable pitch mix changes this season, throwing fewer sinkers and more cutters, and the result has been more ground balls and a reasonably effective season. Behind him, the Cubs sport the league's 5th best bullpen in terms of SIERA, which is notable considering Smyly won't pitch long into this game. Length also won't be something Phillies starter Bailey Falter provides. With a 4.33 SIERA, the lefty has been on a similar caliber to Smyly, but Philadelphia's bullpen doesn't quite give him the same level of support as the Cubs do with Smyly. Chicago has also impressed with an above-league average offense for the season, as well as over the past 30 days. Thus, with similar offenses, starting pitchers, and a better bullpen, it makes sense to ride with the underdog Cubs here. Can the Cubs pull off a stunning 3-game sweep of the Phillies? So the Chicago Cubs money line is our full-game side pick. Chicago entered Saturday having seen the under post a 44 to 42-7 mark in their 93 games this year. The Cubs are 19th in the majors entering Friday in runs per game with 4.31 per contest, a number that trends up slightly to 4.35 runs a game on the road this season. Chicago's average total this season entering Saturday was 9.41 runs a game, which climbs slightly to 9.68 runs per game as the visiting team. Philadelphia comes into Saturday's action having seen the over post a 47 to 43-3 mark this season. The Phillies are 7th in runs per game this season as they average 4.66 runs a contest. Philadelphia puts up 4.61 runs per game at home and has seen an average total of 8.79 runs per game entering Saturday. That number drops to 8.7 runs per game at Citizens Bank Park. Chicago has taken the first 2 games of this series and will be looking for the sweep here. Chicago will start Drew Smyly in this game, who has allowed 5 earned runs over his last 9.1 innings pitched. For Philadelphia, Bailey Falter has allowed 8 runs in his last 13 innings. With a pair of mediocre arms on the mound along with some suspect bullpen work, this game ends up being a high-scoring one. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Los Angeles Angels versus Atlanta Braves. The Los Angeles Angels will go on the road as they take on the Atlanta Braves at Truist Park. Reid Detmers will be the starting pitcher for the Angels. Ian Anderson is expected to take the mound for the Braves. Los Angeles is 15-41 in their last 56 games overall and 5-21 in their last 26 road games, while the under is 10-1 in their last 11 game 3 matchups. Atlanta is 20-7 in their last 27 home games and 5-2 in their last 7 games against the American League West, while the over is 4-0 in their last 4 games against a team with a losing record. As if this season couldn't be going worse for the Angels. After a hot start to the season, Mike Trout is now on the injury list. The Angels had 27 wins in their first 44 games of the season. Following that, they lost 36 out of their next 48 games before the All-Star break. This is the most losses any team has had after winning 27 out of their first 44 games. This is a massive collapse by the Angels. Meanwhile, the Braves have been consistently good all season. As a team, Atlanta is top 10 in the league in ERA, runs allowed, home runs allowed, strikeouts, WHIP, and batting average against. They are also top 10 in the league in runs, hits, home runs, RBI, batting average, SLG, and OPS. I get the reasoning for wanting to back the Angels with the plus money, but the issue is that the Angels are atrocious, and now you're hearing the rumblings that you never thought you'd hear. That Shohei Ohtani could be moved at the deadline. That's just how far the Angels have fallen as they're back to being a replica of the team that lost 14 in a row last month. On the other side, Ian Anderson has been arguably the weak link in Atlanta's rotation this season. But the Angels aren't playing well enough throughout the lineup to exploit the shortcomings of Anderson's. Atlanta is by far the better team here, so the Atlanta Braves to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Braves have been excellent against left-handed pitchers. Against southpaws, Atlanta ranks top 10 in hits, home runs, RBI, walks, batting average, OBP, SLG, and OPS. In 89 at-bats, Austin Riley has a .315 batting average, 28 hits, 9 doubles, 8 home runs, and 17 RBI versus left-handed pitchers this season. Riley leads the Braves in home runs and RBI. He is top 5 in the MLB in home runs. 7 players have double-digit dingers on the year for Atlanta. They have the second most home runs in the league, trailing just the Yankees. The Braves have been one of the most complete teams this season, and that includes their ability to produce at the plate. They had 4 hitters take the batter's box in the All-Star game, and there were still others who were snubbed. Matt Olson has been leading the entire league in doubles for virtually the whole season, but was omitted from the Midsummer Classic. Regardless, Ronald Acuna Jr. was given the honor of leading off, and Austin Riley continues to hit bombs. He's second in the National League in home runs, and alongside teammate Dansby Swanson, they're both in the top 5 in hits. While the Braves lineup is ridiculously deep, the Angels still have their superstars. Ohtani is otherworldly and deserves all of the attention he receives. However, fellow Angel Taylor Ward deserves more credit and was a top OPS hitter to start the season. All of these bats should do their part for a high-scoring game, as neither Ohtani nor Braves ace Max Fried will be on the mound for this game. Atlanta is going to hit southpaw Detmers well this game. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Miami Marlins versus Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pittsburgh Pirates meet the visiting Miami Marlins for a final time this season in Sunday's National League tilt at PNC Park. Miami's 3-game winning streak against Pittsburgh came screeching to a halt in the form of a shutout loss on Saturday. A series victory is now in sight for a Pirates team slated to start Mitch Keller at pitcher against Marlins ace Sandy Alcantara. Miami is 4-1 in their last 5 Sunday games and 8-3 in their last 11 road games. The over is 15-5-1 in Miami's last 21 game threes of a series. Pittsburgh is 4-9 in their last 13 games against the National League East and 2-5 in their last 7 games. The over is 4-1 in Pittsburgh's last 5 game threes of a series. The over is 6-2-1 in these two teams' last 8 head-to-head meetings in Pittsburgh. The Pirates are hoping to end the series on a high note and win the upcoming game at home. The problem is that the Marlins are turning to their ace on the mound, and they look to overwhelm the Pirates throughout the game. The Marlins should drive in runs throughout the game with Garrett Cooper, Jesus Aguilar, and the rest of the lineup making contact against Mitch Keller and the rest of the Pirates pitchers. The Marlins should also limit the Pirates lineup with Sandy Alcantara pitching multiple scoreless innings to allow the bullpen to easily close out the game with a lead. Miami dropped a 1-0 game on Saturday after their offense failed to score a run. Miami will look to get back on track behind a good outing from Sandy Alcantara, who has been one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball this season. Alcantara has allowed 4 earned runs in his last 32 innings pitched. For the Pirates, Mitch Keller has allowed 1 earned run in his last 13 innings of work. I get the reasoning for backing a home underdog like Pittsburgh, but the issue is that the Pirates are having as much trouble scoring as the Marlins have been for the last couple of weeks, as they've only plated 2 wins in the last 2 games despite grabbing a win on Saturday. I don't think the Pirates will be able to do much more against arguably the National League Cy Young favorite in Sandy Alcantara. The Marlins should have another dominant start from Alcantara today, so the Miami Marlins money line is our full game side pick. Both the Pirates and Marlins are turning to two of their better starting pitchers that look to dominate this game from the first pitch. The Pirates should limit the Marlins lineup with Mitch Keller building off 2 starts where he only allowed 2 runs to put together another strong start. The Marlins should eliminate and potentially shut out a Pirates lineup that scores only 3.63 runs per game with Sandy Alcantara building off 3 starts where he only allowed 2 runs and pitching multiple scoreless innings with little to no contact. Sandy Alcantara starting at pitcher will awaken another nightmare for a Pirates team that has only scored 1 run in each of their 2 meetings with the Marlins in this series. That's a big problem when staring down one of the hottest pitchers in baseball. On the other side, the Marlins are dealing with some concerning injuries, and they won't be coming in with the same firepower we saw in the opener. Granted, they'll still hang runs on the struggling Pirates, but don't expect this to be a high-scoring game with the injury bug taking a toll on Miami's roster. This will be a low-scoring game controlled by both starting pitchers. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.